industry destroyed. If honestly, I would like to see God destroy like Sodom and Gomorrah. I would like every site to be destroyed, every DVD, every porn company to go out of business. That's my hopes. That might not happen. That might not happen. No, you'd be surprised what God will do. But if even if that doesn't happen, my goal is just to say, like I said, if it's just one person to come out the porn industry, one person who has a porn addiction to say, you know what, I didn't know that, I recognize this is a problem, it's poison, it's perversion, and I want to stop it. And listening to your story really helped me and really is going to get me on the path to stop doing this.
But you know, the thing is, I haven't always seen, to everyone that comes out, 10 goes in.
You think so?
That's how the story goes. Because it's in the same way. How you could be explaining your story, and somebody could be listening and say, well, yeah, I don't want to go in that. It's the same with somebody else. Somebody else could be listening to it and say, hey, there's that money in that. If you want to see what happens. So that's
the thing. That's the thing. Everybody's focused on the money, and that's where I come in at. That's where you're gonna get some money, but you're gonna get something else too. But you're not bought. And see, that's when you're gonna find out the hard way. Some people have to hit their head. I'm sorry. Some people have to hit their head, and that's what I'm trying to prevent. I wouldn't want my worst enemy to go through the things that I went through.
One of the things that happened, there was this young lady who wanted to get some money for tuition in the States. And she did a porn movie. She did it with a guy who had contracted HIV. He went to Brazil, he contracted HIV. He came, he spread it all over the place. The industry was actually shut down for a year plus. She got HIV for just doing one porn scene to get money to go to college. From 12 o'clock.
Alright, guys. All I can say is, and it's really good, the turnaround that you made. It is really good. I really hope that the message will get out, but somewhere along the line, it's iffy, and I kind of iffy because, as I said, one person might come out, two persons might come out, three persons might come out, and when three came out, you find out.
But don't you find that ignorant to go into it? If somebody comes from actually experiencing that and comes out and tell you, yes, there is money. I'm not doubting that. I'm not coming against it. It is money to be made in the industry, but you are going to have some situations occur. Now, that's an ignorant person to go into an industry or go into. It's like, basically, if I turn on the fire and I say, if you put your hand in it, you're going to get burned. And you're just so stupid, you want to put your hand in it and you're going to get burned. That's my thing. I know that it's some really ignorant people out there, and I feel sorry for them, and they're going to learn the hard way. And I pray that it's nothing that's going to be life-threatening. I pray that it's nothing going to be life-threatening. But it is some people, unfortunately, who want to find out the hard way, and that's what I'm trying to prevent, because I wouldn't want that. HIV is something I wouldn't want my enemy to. I can use anybody, and without him, that's another thing we try to take him out of. But God still exists, no matter how bad society is or how bad the world is or old-fashioned the Bible might be. God still is powerful, and he's still delivering people and healing people, and with him everything is possible. Because look at me, listening to my story, a lot of people on the island know my story, and for God to use somebody like me, it's possible. If he did it for me, he'll do it for somebody else. And as far as the porn, the people who are into the pornography and sex and things of that nature, it's definitely detrimental to your spirit. It's detrimental to your soul. It's poison. It's a spirit of perversion, and it's not something to be looked at as a good thing. And I will hope that one day the light will go off, and maybe even me being here will bring some type of awareness to turn people away from that.
And stick around now. It's coming up with the compliments of Decky's AutoZone.
Danielle can make in a youth life today that may be struggling with being online, internet friends, where the talk is you got to be the hottest person around. What impact can you do without even telling them anything really too much about, I'm going to use a name, and forgive me for 1 second, tell them too much about Jesus or even God?
That's actually good, because a lot of people that I want to say come in contact with are not religious people or not spiritual people. After talking to me, they later become spiritual, but at first that's not who I deal with. And what I do is I share the things that happened to me as a result of the lifestyle that I was living. Before I ever introduced them to Christ, I let them know the dangers behind it, the dangers behind having sex, the dangers behind trying to be in the wrong places at the wrong time, being with the wrong crowd, where you can end up. And it's not worth it. I don't paint a very pretty picture the way that society makes it look like it's so good, it's so wonderful. But me coming out of that lifestyle and out of that world, I know what goes on. And so I just share my experiences with them. And a lot of people don't believe it, but I have more positivity than negativity. So obviously I know that my life, we get too caught up in Danielle Williams' story, but it's my life. And my life has definitely had an impact on non-believers and believers. And I am so not what a Christian is supposed to look like. And definitely I'm not in SVG, I'm in the States. So actually my look works for me, because the big thing is the tattoos now. The big thing is the way the girls dress. And I attract certain people, and that's exactly what I want to do, because they may come with one mindset, and then once they talk to me, everything has changed. So I will definitely not change anything about me. I don't want anybody else to think that they're going to change anything about me, because it's working for me. This is a part of my testimony, and it's a part of my ministry, because I don't go for the saints. I don't go for the saved, the holier than thou people. I don't go for the church folks. I go for the people outside of the church to bring them in. I go for the people that's hurting, the gangbangers, the prostitutes, the drug addicts, the drug dealers. And then when they see me, they can relate, because they know I come from exactly where they come from. The purpose of my story is not to glamorize pornography at all. And I think that it's ignorant. And a lot of people say, why should you keep calling people ignorant? Because ignorance means lack of knowledge. And something is, you're not seeing the big picture if you think that the purpose of me being here, the purpose of my ministry, or the purpose of Faith Promotions and the Evangelical Association for bringing me here is definitely not to glamorize the pornography or glamorize stripping or prostitution or drug use or anything of that nature. What it is, what we're doing is exposing it and trying to tell people this is not what you expect it to be. This is a dangerous path. Also, what we're doing is letting people, what I'm doing, I know, is to give people a voice that have been molested and have been abused, to let them know that there is hope for you, even though you've been through things. So we're not trying to glamorize any negative thing. What we're doing is we're bringing it out, we're exposing it, and we're trying to help people and bring awareness of what they're getting involved in.
Where does hope come in? Where does hope come in? What's the hope? What's the hope? What's the light? What's the message that we're getting out there?
My thing, I always say there's no sin too big or too bad for God. And the hope is that even though you've been through things, I like to say you've been battered but not broken. You've been through things, but He's still going to use you. It's still hope for you. It's not the end. Just if you're still here and you've been through something, I don't care if you was the worst person in the world, there is hope for you. And the hope comes from Christ. The hope comes from Christ, because He can use anybody and anything in any situation. So that's where I would look at it in a nutshell, basically. There's so much more to it, but I know that time won't allow me. But I definitely want to give a message that God gives the hope to anybody, especially to people who have been struggling with certain things. There's hope for you to come out of it. There's hope for you to change your life. There is light at the end of the tunnel.
That's good. Just to also mention where we would be, we have been at the Streams of Our Church in San Souci and the Kingdom Life Tabernacle Church in Barely. Tonight we will be at Kingdom Life Ministries in Mesopotamia from 7 p.m. Friday night, Hope for Life Restoration Ministries in Arnorsville. Saturday night, Faith Temple, and Sunday night at Bethel Gospel Assembly. Both these churches from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday would start at 6 o'clock, and Danielle would be speaking. I also want to make special.
Just give us those locations and dates again.
Okay, good. So tonight, Kingdom Life Ministry.
Definitely.
Lord, keep us the glory of God. Keep up your good work.
Thank you so much.
Kenny, thank you. And the rest of everyone else, thank you so much for coming. Next time, bring something to eat. So thank you very much. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
11:36 here in SVG and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. It's now time for this morning's edition of the program. Today,
Can I tell you one more time? I said he saw the best in me when everyone else around me could only see the worst in me. I wish I had